It's the all-white boat ride of fear on May 11th. You can't afford to miss it.
3, 2, 1. WEFM is SVG.
Alrighty, and just to know that Singer is offering a 20% discount on air fryers, 3 different sizes, single draw and double draw, brand West Point, and prices start at $342.20, less 20%, making it $274. All right, so head on down to Singer for your air fryers. And
so the Searchlight Midweek is now online. The headlines are: ruling of COVID-19 vaccine mandate, case reserved. Second Park Hill victim who was killed and burnt laid to rest. Police concerned about the link between negligence and child sex abuse. Beckway-born surgeon honored in the U.S. Man 53 who claims girl 12 forced him into sex will know his fate next month. Stronger measures needed to monitor flea-affected schools, says SVGTU head. Prime to Pump discusses responding to changes. ICC director pleased with public response to opening of box office. Remember to check out our video stories on YouTube and download the free Searchlight app to access our e-paper and get breaking news and updates. Searchlight, journalism you can trust. Check us out online at searchlight.vc.
WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:09, soon to be 8:10 here in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean. If you're just joining us, this is Ari, and also with me is Roleza, and we are Activated Mornings this morning. Also, if you're just joining us, previously we were discussing the accusations laid by van drivers as it relates to sandals, or laying them off this week. Now, I wasn't able to, time didn't permit, for me to give my thoughts on the situation. I do agree with what a lot of persons are saying as it relates to the professionalism of most van drivers who receive contracts to pick up and drop off workers. However, on the other side of things, I do understand where the specific van driver who laid his concerns to me, where he's coming from. I do think that it is, although it is business, I do think that it is unfair when persons coming to certain situations or business arenas with a running start. I would say you're coming in with certain benefits already, and you are now taking food from, I would say, a poorer man's plate. Now, what does this mean? I do realize that when there are certain people advocating for certain things, say in St. Vincent, when it is that there are people who have experience in certain things, they tend to reap the benefits. And I don't want to go into that too much because I feel like I'm pointing fingers at specific individuals, but it is the fact. So how do we strike the balance? How do we allow the minibus drivers to be awarded these contracts? How do we teach them ethics? How do we teach them how to properly, who should be in charge of training them? Should it be Sandals? Should it be the Minibus Association? Who should be in charge of training them so that they know the proper way to conduct themselves when dealing with these workers? Because I do believe that they should still be awarded these opportunities, because we did argue for it. that the taxi drivers, and as this driver called in earlier and said, they are having a meeting to discuss certain things. And one of the problems, and I don't think I mentioned earlier, is a lot of these van drivers, these minibus drivers, they try to have their cake and eat it too, where they want to run their vans in the day, during the day, when they should be dealing with workers. These workers are on shifts. It's not you pick them up 8 o'clock and then you go back at 10. They're working on different shifts. So you need to be readily available. That is why you're being paid so much money. So if you have more than one van, I completely understand. But if you just have the one, you can't have your cake and eat it too, which is why we need to have to discuss ethics with them.
But you see, Ari, the other thing too. So I hear you sympathizing, what's your word? I'm not sure which one. With the van driver, right? But what it sounds like, it's going to be a situation of Peter paying for Paul and Paul paying for all, right?
Yeah.
That is what it's going to, because you're going to lump them together.
And that shouldn't
right?
be the case.
It shouldn't be the case. But in the interim, what should Sandals do?
Well, they already made the decision.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you have a business to run. You cannot be bothered with these things that are behind the scene, knowing that these are things that I'm sure that they probably thought that this was going to be a standard. How are you going to tell me that you have a contract to pick up persons at a particular time and you are doing whatever you like? Right?
But again, that could be generally speaking. They could have the ones in between that doing what
which
they're
is the
supposed to
problem, which is exactly what the problem is, where those persons who actually are professional in the way in which they go about doing things, they are now going to find themselves on the end of it, right? Now, the other thing too is that, so yes, if it is what it's being alleged that a bigger person has come into play, they have the bigger bus, etc. They know what the right thing is. But remember that they were not the first preference for Sandals, right? So now they're quote unquote going to get in on this opportunity because they know what the professional thing is, right? So it really is unfortunate. And this is why I don't think that there are many times that persons take the hospitality tourism sector seriously in SVG, right? You know, I think that there's a tagline for tourism that says we all have a part to play or something to that effect, right? Persons don't realize in simple thing. It's a chain effect. It is the van drivers not picking up workers on time. Workers getting to the compound late. Then it's going to have a spill-off effect in terms of their own conduct or their own professionalism, their timeliness, the other spill-off effects of when they actually get to the job in terms of how it's going to impact their work performance, right? So it's a whole chain effect that is happening there. And what happens to me every morning here? 1 second.
So while Roleza catches her voice, we're going to read this comment quickly. There's one tour operator who seems to have or push a certain standard, and it is foreign tours. It's not a plug for them, but I'm sure there are others who provide excellent professional services.
Yeah.
But that's taxi.
No, foreign tours, the big bus.
Taxi.
Well, okay. I guess
it's not minibus. That's my point. It's not a minibus driver.
Yeah, so it's a whole chain effect that happens there. And as I said, Sandals don't have time to be dealing with these visa issues. They have a business to run.
Fair. I'm gonna read response here. Roleza, you ask who is to blame. Many aspects of our society is to be blamed. Everything can be summed up into one thing. Lack of understanding of tourism. We don't fully understand what is and what it can do for us. Most, not all Vincentians think tourism is the airport and the hotel, and it's not. It's our people, van drivers, those on the street, those in stores, restaurants, everything. They do not understand professionalism. They are accustomed to treating the public anyway. They like drink, curse, do whatever. We are a young country to tourism, and we have to learn that. We have to learn and learn fast because the introduction of Sandals is going to change everything. We have a call here. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning. Sandals is paying the vans to take the workers, pick them up and take them back home.
Yeah, that is what is being said. Well, that was the arrangement according to minibus driver.
And what about the other hotels in St. Vincent? They do that also?
I cannot speak for the other hotels, but I know generally, so like businesses like KFC, Subway, ECGC, the list goes on. They usually tender contracts for for minibus operators or taxi drivers to do these sort of jobs, these pick-up drop-offs.
And do they deduct any of that from the person's salary, that cost?
And that I do not know.
You mean from the worker's salary?
No, the person. You mean the worker or the person doing the pickup or drop off?
Do the business like Sandals, would they deduct
No,
that?
I highly doubt it.
I don't think so. No.
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
I highly doubt it.
So then, okay, and do they also provide meals you could eat
Yes.
or what you want?
Yeah. Yes,
right?
they provide meals as well.
Okay.
Yes. Mm.
So you see, Sandals might not be a bad thing after all. You know, you save. You don't have to pay the transportation out your pocket. You get to eat, so you don't have to go and buy stuff. You know, out your pocket, and you get tips plus the salary. So all these people.
I don't think tips are allowed.
Exploitation. Gratitude.
Okay, so Ari's making the point that tips. No, I don't think. If I read correctly, Sandals employees are not allowed to receive tips. I think it's only one category of persons, but generally, no, they're not. Yeah, and I don't know.
They will get tips. They will get. Well, listen. That might be the rule, right? But you know. If somebody come to your room, you might slip out that take money to them now.
Yeah, but I've been to hotels where if that's the policy, the employees would refuse it because they can get into trouble for receiving tips if that is the policy.
Some people, I'm sure it do. It's more widespread than you think. More the tips. They may not take it where the cameras is. Take it
let's
in the room or something.
Right. So may not, but let's not speculate further on
what
that.
I'm saying, my overall thing says Sandals might not be a bad place to work. It might be better than some of them people who vend on the street.
Oh, that wasn't up for discussion.
Can't sell nothing and can't sell nothing.
Oh, the discussion was never if Sandals is a bad place to work. That was never the discussion.
No, but everything comes in, everything intertwines. When you have a discussion, something else gonna come in that you're gonna intertwine in it.
Okay.
That you don't expect, that you didn't think about. All right. Have a good morning. Bye.
All right. Stay back.
All right. One thing, some of these listeners give me a laugh. That's an interesting comment you made there. Anyways, good morning. I understand that ex-politician and my driver's training even in CPR. Oh, I understand that the ex-politician had my driver's training even in CPR. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. All right. One last comment we're gonna read. Good morning, Sandals is here to let the service sector know that they put their house in order, and who don't do it will be left out. Which again, I don't disagree with that at all. Okay. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Hello.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. Pertaining to the statement the guy made with the tipping part. I witnessed it for myself. I had the guy who called earlier, taxi guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I had a staff with me also from Sandal with 2 guests. And it's like, well, the guest tipped me and was going to tip the staff. And the staff was like, it's okay. And the guest was demanding that the staff take the tip. And he was like, no, it's okay. And the guest, the service that he provided for the guest, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They felt, you know what I mean? And then the guest was like, he was literally behind the guy, following the guy to take the tip. And the guy was just like all the time, no, it's okay. That's okay. And you know what I mean? Sometimes the service they provide, people feel appreciated. And then, but if there's a policy and no tipping policy, I can understand why he said that it's okay, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because basically he can get into trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the guest is satisfied with the service. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
all
the
right.
training part, well, I in this week last week, I did my CPR as well. So that's a part of the training process also.
Okay. And this training was provided by who though?
No, you basically you go for yourself with the taxi.
Yeah, but who is the person who organizes the training?
Who initiated or suggested?
Red Cross.
Red Cross. Okay.
Red Cross and tourism.
Okay.
Okay.
Ministry of Tourism.
Alright.
Okay.
Right.
In order for you get your tourism pass
Right.
Mhm.
with your ID,
Okay.
say that you approve, and you know what I mean,
Okay.
and you're certified
Alright.
taxi operator, you have to go through the CPR training before you get all of that.
Mhm.
All right. Shout out to the Ministry of Tourism on that.
Yeah.
So that means that it was open to these people.
Yeah,
But
it's open basically to the public also. You can go off your own.
You can.
Like you and Roleza can go
Mhm.
and do it off of your own.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Mhm.
Thanks for providing, because
Yeah.
let's also assume that they did not know this. But thanks for providing that
Yeah,
information,
yeah.
Carla.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So you have anything else that you wanted to touch on?
Not
quickly?
really. I mean, I would like to know my van driver also has CPR training, because you just never know what could happen. And as I said before, I am also a customer. So what we provide to our guests, provide to our citizens as well. Not because I am living here means that you're going to treat me any which way. You're not going to drop me here any place that you feel like dropping me. I expect you to also be professional. So, as as a comment said as well, everybody has their part to play in tourism. It's not just persons working within the hotels. It's not just the taxi operators. Everybody has their part to play. And unfortunately, because of the domino effect that is happening here with this situation with the van drivers, I absolutely cannot blame Sanders if the information that's presented to us is as it is presented.
So we do have an issue here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as it relates to the police force and certain conditions under which they work. And we're going to go into that this morning here on Activated Morning. There's a lot to unpack on this topic, and we tend to at least do our best to get as much information out there as possible as it relates to this topic. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll be discussing all things RSVG-PF.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interbrand Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Box offices are now open. Get your tickets for ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 matches from the Ticket Box office at the Commercial Center. The box office is open daily from Monday to Saturday. Get your tickets today and be part of the action. ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024. It's going to be out of this world.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Carnival is in the
Friday, May 17th.
Heritage Square comes alive
With runs and rhythm as we unleash the vibrancy and magic of Vincy Mass 2024, along with the ICC World Cup Trophy Tour. Dive into the hottest carnival in the Caribbean, where the infectious sounds of calypso and soca music fills the air.
The sweet sounds of steel pans spread across the streets, accompanied by the energy of Migrate.
Come and experience the thrill,
the nostalgia,
and the unforgettable moments of the ICC World Cup Trophy Tour.
You're invited to unleash the spirit and dance into the heart of the celebration
as we launch Vincy Mass 2024 on Friday, May 17th at Heritage Square.
Get ready to unleash the runs and the rhythm,
the vibe, the energy, and the pace.
Carnival again, say we love play. Martin we fin, say we love play.
WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:28 here in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean.
Maybe out of space too. Crystal folks, you never know.
Tell all the Crystal and DRUGS.
Might be Crystal folks, you never know.
I tell all that I believe Crystal is on the DRUGS. I don't have any evidence, but I will find it. But on a more serious note, the issue relating to police officers, we've seen police officers being lost from the Coast Guard. We've seen them being lost generally. They will go to other countries. They will go to mainly in the region, UK and US. And I know a number of police officers that have migrated. Now, there's a Facebook user, Troublemaker is the name. They usually... I think this person has good content sometimes. They usually put out a lot of important information that I am usually not opposed to. So on May 4th, they did put out this. Their commissioner of police. The problem is not police leaving for British military. The problem is in-house and the leaders not doing what they're supposed to do. You can't expect a young person to come join, then walk like a donkey. Walk over the normal working hours, go out on duty all hours of the night, breaking sleep for a bad salary. Have to go home late at night because their sleeping conditions at the main headquarters is bad. Stained bed, dirty toilets, showers filthy, rats running up and down like they're paying bills, bed bug, you name it. Police who don't have a vehicle be on the road at night trying to get home, and all you can say is they don't have to. They can sleep at the station. Yes, in the rotten down place while you drive around in your big ride where you get duty free. You know, that's something I noticed about Vincent as well. Once you have a position, the first thing they comment on is your big ride. You quote unquote big ride. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Tonya, Isel, Franklin. Good morning. Morning, Trevor. Good morning, Crampel. Good morning, Das and Alston. Always listening. Good morning, Alston.
And Demon.
I didn't even see him there.
Well, he was there before.
Oh, okay. So the person went on to say, Troublemaker went on to say, I don't really care about the older rooms. They can take that. They can take what them get. Because when Smith been fighting for them, they jump up. They only care about the new ones who have a life ahead. I'm trying to remember who Smith is.
He was a police. I forget his first name, but he was a police officer over there.
Yes, a police officer. But I'm trying to remember what his position was. Was it that he was part of what was he? Oh gosh, I hate that. It's
not the welfare. Is the other?
Not welfare.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll go on. Promotion going to people who don't deserve it, but because so make they get in it. Soon you will get sergeants and brown clothes officers walking the streets on beat because nobody wants to join. These young people joining because they don't have much of a choice, and it means of getting a show salary. And I don't know if you saw the video that was going around where they ask the young police officer why he
That's
joined.
That's right.
So you put in rules in place now saying there won't be any no pay leave to travel to England unless it's emergency with proof. Nobody can resign without giving 3 months notice, and we will inform the army that you abandoned your post and you have a job with the state, which means if someone sign up the army and if someone sign up for the army and get through, they won't be able to travel to do their assessment in time because of these new rules. You should be happy that young people are taking up better opportunities abroad to better their life and their family's life. But instead, you are doing what you can to block them while you're not focusing on the route of why they are leaving. Do you think someone would abandon something that is good for them, something they love, go study, rock up those students' loans just to climb up the ladder, all cause they know if they don't, they would be 20 years a constable, few years ago, 10-year constable got confirmed corporal, all because he riding bike for the PM, and a 20-year-old constable got acting corporal. What did the 10 years do that the 20 years haven't done or better? And the 20 years one was a very good police. These are things that push these police over the edge, and they then turn delinquent because they are not being seen by those in authority, all because of favors and friendship. Fix the organization, and maybe these young police will stay, because as it stands, 30 out of the 113 will leave for England before 2026. Soon you are going to put minimum 5-year contracts for new police. And they quoted a story on Eyewitness News, which is the police not being able to fill. Gosh, I just lost the this story there.
Eyewitness?
The headline is what?
So the headline is 113 recruits, barely
Thank you
enough to
very
replace police officers who resigned last year, right?
So before you say something, Roleza, the troublemaker person quoted the part where it says, if an officer joins the British Army while on vacation, the Royal St. Vincent Grenadines Police Force would contact the UK authorities and block the enlistment and have the officer repatriated and made to answer a desertion charge in open court. The Royal St. Vincent Grenadines Police Force members were reportedly told. All right, go ahead.
All right. So for those who may have heard, I've expressed my opinions on this topic before, right? And it is a kind of soft spot for me in a sense, because I worked with and still very much in communication with a lot of police officers, right? And it is a troubling issue. It is a very troubling issue for me. For those persons who may not be aware, it's a lengthy, but when I say lengthy, it's detailed, and the content is actually great. It's an article that's written on Eyewitness News, where Kenton Chance, that is, would have interviewed a lot of several police officers anonymously, right? Where they spoke of the various conditions that they're working under, their lack of support being given to them, the reasons why they're leaving, as well as the implications for those who wish to leave, right? So I would urge many persons, if you want to get at least the side coming from the officers, and again, they had to speak anonymously because of the fear of victimization. But he was able to get information from several police officers, and so it's a really good read, right? It's a good read. Interestingly, as we speak on this topic, I noticed that the Searchlight has an ad out for police constables being recruited for the Bermuda Police Force, right? Not that I'm trying to advertise it, but it's just the timing of it all, right? The ad does say that it's not for current serving police officers, right? Current serving police officers cannot apply. However, when I look at what the benefits are, right? The starting salary per annum is Bermudan dollars 76,000 and a piece. And the Bermudan dollar is on par with the US dollar, right? They also speak about other benefits, including single quarters accommodation at a minimum rent, 24 24 days annual leave, entire travel expenses at half contract and at the end of the contract, right? So as I said, it's not a plug necessarily for this force, but it's the timeliness of the ad being put out. And I am looking at it and I'm seeing this is one of the reasons why you may have a lot of persons who are not currently in the force who may wish to join the services of other police organizations or military services around the world.
All right.
One of the
Not to cut you off, just to update the listeners, it was indeed Brenton Smith, and he was a part of the welfare.
It's welfare.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
go
No,
ahead.
so I wasn't. All right. So over the years, in listening to police officers, one of the problems that they have is the lack of fair grounds for promotion, right? Many officers are in the force, and as I once said before, you hear somebody, I might hear a death announcement, and I hear somebody being a part of the police force, or even whenever they're doing those congratulatory messages, like the batch of officers. Oh, we have a call. All right. Morning, caller.
Morning, caller, you live.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I heard that you are making reference to article that Kenton Chance write.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but why should we listen to Kenton Chance?
Not Kenton Chance, it's the officers.
Wait, go. Let me hear your point, and let me hear your point.
About the article that you see that you read.
Right.
That Kenton Chance.
Right. What about it?
Kenton Chance wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that we have to listen to Kenton Chance? We have to listen to the authorities, to the police when they give the release. He the first person reach and the scene to report when it's through the police. They're supposed to make their press release.
Oh, okay, hold on, right? When police officers do their press releases, it's in relation to specific matters, right? This article is in relation to concerns addressing police officers. Is it a case where you're taking?
No, but the government have been doing the 21. What the salary was in 21 when the over and what it is today.
The argument isn't
Look at
salary
the police
alone.
station that the government.
The argument isn't salaries alone. The argument is the general treatment of police officers.
Condition.
Excuse me?
Can you say too?
Sorry, you're breaking up, Carla.
And the working condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the working condition too.
Mm-hmm.
It's millions of dollars that this government have spent on repairing police station and continue to repair police station and maintain them.
Like you?
Hello?
Like you police station?
No, I'm saying at several police stations throughout St. Vincent and the
I'm just asking if you police station is one of them, Carla.
All right,
Hello,
so caller, no, you're breaking up. But the thing of it is that, so yes, the government may have spent millions of dollars. In 2007, they may have done a salary increase, but it does not does not change the fact of what the current situation within the police force, and more importantly, why it is that we are losing police officers from the force here in SVG to other military organizations. There has to be an issue. In the article, wait 1 second, I'm not. In the article written by Kenton, it was stated, let me see if I could find it quickly. Of the 113, wait 1 second.
So why is it, right, that when it is that someone has an issue or has a strong political belief that they tend to discredit certain journalists? What about the story that strikes you as untrue? Have you ever had conversations with police officers? Because I have.
But Kenton is in any position to have.
Okay, so hold on. Let me just ask.
Yes, she's a journalist. That's how it works.
Let me ask this one question. If I was reading, or if we were reading from the Searchlight newspaper, what would have been your opinion then? If they had the same content, what would have been your opinion? Caller? All right. All right. So to the point that the caller was making, In the same article that I'm referring to, it said a well-placed source told Eyewitness News that with the addition of the recruits, there are still there are 113 recruits, but there are 80 vacancies currently within the force. All right. So that is what I'm speaking to in terms of persons who are leaving the organization. And why it isn't a case of it necessarily retaining. So it's attracting persons, yes, but they're not able to retain these officers, right?
Yeah, you had a point there?
I have several points, but go ahead.
I just want to read something, comment there on WhatsApp. Someone says, good morning. I heard you on this police issue before leaving SVG. Ari, check out Barbados. They're about 200 short. Yes, they might leave for greener pastures, but the cost of living might be higher. I won't take away from your points, Roleza. Go right ahead and finish.
Right. So yes, money might be a factor, right? But remember, money isn't always enough for persons to stay with an organization, right? So we also have to look at the factor that many officers have been commenting on over the years in terms of the lack of transparency with regards to promotion. Money is a factor, yes, but in terms of how is it that you're able to determine who gets a promotion over who? Yes, again, I'm not stating that your years of service by themselves is supposed to be an indication that you are to be promoted. It's time for you to be promoted. But if you have those years of service plus the work that you have done within the organization, how is it being determined that these persons are promoted ahead of others, right? That is one point. You have officers who go out on training, but yet that training isn't reflected in terms of their ascension within the organization. One of the things that I do also have an issue with is, and even up to last week, a friend of mine actually left the service to, with the hopes of joining the military in the UK. And in speaking with him, I don't know if he thought, initially if he thought that I was dissuading him or I wasn't happy with him making this decision. On an individual basis, yes, I am all for persons making personal advancement. I have absolutely no problems. If you have ambitions and you feel that there are opportunities somewhere else for you to expand and spread your wings and learn more and to capitalize on this or that, I have zero problems with it. What it is that I told him is that I am looking at it from a national standpoint, right? We already see that we have an escalation of crime here in SVG, more so with relation to gun violence. When we have officers who actually join the force, who want to become police officers, but because of the fact that there are issues, and I cancel little issues. All right, we have a call. I would finish my thought after.
Morning, caller, you live?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am calling from New York because I've been listening to you guys. And I used to be a police officer in St. Vincent for a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everything in St. Vincent is pretty political.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when I was in the military here for 15 years also, and I just retired from the Navy here. But I'm listening to the issues with the police officers and stuff. I believe that it's generally human nature that when you, brong nose, you get promoted. It's one of those things. Even in the military, the guy who put in the hard work, the guy who do all the work, don't get the promotion. It's always the person who brong noses to the boss gets the promotion. So that's typical. Okay. And St. Vincent is a very political place. Yes. But also, Vincentian has a tendency to not maintain things. Because I used to live in the barracks for years. I worked on the beat before. I lived in the female barracks there. But you also have to maintain what you get. And it's not a matter of, okay, they don't fix it, they don't clean it. But if they do fix it, are you inclined to maintain it? No, make sure you clean, make sure you take care of what you got so it can last you longer. And I know she's talking about the Bermuda police force. Everybody always think the grass is greener on the other side. But in St. Vincent, one of the things is, okay, we get a lot of loose rules. You might be able to, okay, the things that you can get away with in St. Vincent Police Department, you're not going to get away with it in the Bermuda Police Department because they have stricter rules. They might offer you a lot of things.
Good thing.
You know what I'm saying? They might offer you a lot of things, but then the things that you think, oh, yeah, I could go here and just get off, they have stricter rules there. So everybody like, oh, I'm going to Bermuda. But you have to understand you got to put in the work there too. So one of the things they might get away with in Simmons, they're not going to get away with there, even though they give you more, because there's higher expectations for you.
Which is fair.
Which is fair. Also, okay, they're nurses. I mean, nurses normally get trained in Simmons for free. I live in New York. Nothing is free here. Heck, you have to go to your education. The government in Simmons tend to give everybody everything for free. And how do you keep them? The more you give, it's like a child.
I agree with that comment.
Okay, in terms of giving people things for free.
You said the government tends to give everything for free.
Like, medical in St. Vincent. I mean, who pays for medical? Have you ever been to a dentist in New York?
Yeah, I know it is expensive. Generally in New York for any type of medical service, but it's also not free here.
But it's free enough that the
or
service
it's cheaper.
you get,
You mean that it may be cheaper?
I think you want to say cheaper.
Yeah, right, cheaper. In the amount of money that we pay to expect, we always compare to New York. Oh my God, they're doing this in New York, and I'm like, every town in New York has its own budget, so everybody have maintenance that they have to do. We pay taxes, your house taxes. You got to pay school taxes. You got to pay property taxes. You got to pay taxes for. You don't even know what you're paying taxes for.
All right,
Carla. Vincent don't even pay taxes.
Carla,
So
we actually do pay a lot of taxes. But Carla, I have a question.
Sure.
Because it is limited and there's much to unpack here. You said you're living in New York and you've lived there for over 15 years?
20.
20 years. Why haven't you returned home?
I have returned home.
So you're living in St. Vincent?
You mean
no? I don't.
I mean permanently. Why haven't you returned home permanently?
Because I have 6 children in New York that I can't bring to St. Vincent permanently.
Oh, okay, I understand. But I'm sure you're getting my point here.
Yes, I understand. And that's what I said. I saw somebody saying, oh, Vincent, I keep saying they live St. Vincent is a paradise, but they don't come to the paradise.
Like no, I don't mean visiting. I mean living here.
But I can't, like me, I am a retired military, and my New York won't let me come to live to St. Vincent and pay me my pension. So I can't just automatically get up and move to St. Vincent because that's my source of income.
And that was the point that I would have gotten to with this discussion. There are much more benefits in some of these countries. It's not just as simple as salary or getting away with more. There are benefits in these countries, and even the living conditions might be better, might be worse, but the benefits are usually there. And I think the benefits are what attract the officers and why it is that they are leaving the country and hiding the numbers that they're leaving. No.
Absolutely. And it's not even a St. Vincent thing. It's even a military thing where we leave the Navy and join the Air Force.
Because someone even said here in Barbados, they're having the same problem.
Exactly. Because it's like cost of living goes up, but our salary, when I was in the police force, my salary was $750 a month. So it's one of those things. So that you have to live off of. But I am all for police health, mental health, because your living condition has a lot to do with mental health.
It does.
And
a lot.
And then a lot to do with mental health. And if police are not happy, they go out there and they take out the frustration in other places. And then they're like, oh, you see what I'm saying? Because it's just normal human being. I mean, if you don't sleep well and you wake up in the morning, you're cranky. If police are going to work and they don't have a place to sleep, they're not eating properly, I believe we should maintain, same in the military, maintain our police officers so they're in good mental health. Mental health is important, something that I think St. Vincent ignores a lot, mental health. Because if police is not happy, we are not happy because they're responsible for making sure we're safe, whether they are happy or not happy. So we have to make them happy so they could keep us safe and defend us in whatever way. And they don't get no slack. The minute they step out of line, we forget everybody's defending them now because of the living condition. That something happens tomorrow, then everybody turns on them. So now they have to readjust to like, oh my God, you guys are just on my side yesterday. What happened today? So it's a lot of mental adjustment, and it takes a lot to adjust to oh, you're on my side, you're not on my side. So they
Yes,
have a
it's a lot.
fine line.
Yeah. But
It is. And
I don't
I
mean
think
to
it's a
cut you off,
prioritize.
but we have
No,
like
no, you're fine.
9 minutes remaining in this
No,
segment,
you're
and
fine.
yes,
You're fine.
but thanks a lot for your contribution. It's always good to hear persons with this experience and persons from the diaspora give their opinions on topics like these, because it is informational. It is good information to have for anyone listening. So thanks a lot for your contribution.
Thank you. And you guys make my day. I be cussing you guys a lot, but
that's healthy discussions then.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Take care. Goodbye.
So I have a comment here from someone. Sorry, Roleza. Just trying to because it's 3 paragraphs that the person, that troublemaker, has here that I really wanted us to unpack. I'm going to try my best to get into it. The first one is the living conditions. We saw and we see persons in community know that in villages, that don't have these new police stations, the police stations aren't in the best of shape. And we see on Eyewitness News the condition of Layu police station. There are other names that we could go down into, but again, we don't have the time. The second thing is promotion. Now, Roleza and we have spoken to police officers that have said off record how they feel about the promotion thing here. I have a comment here from an officer who migrated to the UK, and he said, I see it as a level fight down from our own government. I was once a police officer and now living in England, and I'm currently serving in the army. When I joined the police force, I had a passion for it and thought I could make a change, but I was awakened by the reality that the force would quicker change on me. Look at the last passing out that they had. There were people basically saying that they are there because they can't do better. Living conditions are the worst. Working hours are for slaves. You work on your days off with no compensation. Promotion is based on political background and affiliations. What they should be studying is finding out why people are leaving and seek to fix it, because it is not junior officers alone leaving. It's also senior police officers. And soon, if this continues, there is going to be a serious brain drain within the police force, and that's where the bigger problem is going to be. And this is someone who I think, based on my recollection, he has 15 years in police, the Royal St. and Grenades Police Force, and in different departments, one of which was the Black Squad.
Yeah. So the other points that I was making, so as I said, not against anybody leaving to better themselves. Of course, I ain't bad-minded. Everybody needs to be ambitious and pursue their goals and their dreams, right? But I look at it from a wider standpoint. Now, collectively, when we have this significant number of persons leaving, we're not getting persons. We may not be getting persons in the force who actually want to be police officers here within SVG. What does that say to their work performance? What does that say to their work ethic? Are they just going to be there to collect a salary and to move on, right? By extension, the fight against crime, are they actually going to be doing their utmost to protect us as citizens, to serve and protect us, if they're only going to be there to collect a salary? So that is one thing that I'm looking at. Another standpoint, persons say that they don't mind persons leaving because, yes, in a sense, it's going to help the country by way of remittances. Now, yes, remittances are all fine, right? But what about those persons who have had to leave on account of wanting to be able to at least afford the basics in life? And honestly, having a vehicle and a house maybe might be seen as the basics in life, or providing for your family might be seen as the basics. Those persons who already have a family, they already have a wife, they already have a husband, they already have a children. We do not think about the breakdown. I know, we do not necessarily think about the breakdown in that family structure on account of somebody moving overseas. Now, yes, there are some instances where families are able to then end up and go and meet their spouses, etc. The family is able to move up, but it may not necessarily happen as quickly for some persons. And what happens to that family structure in the interim? So yes, sending back home money is one thing, but what about the other aspects? When daddy is not there in the household to help mommy to raise these children, then this child starts to act up and they do this and they do that. Then we have another spill-off effect happening within our society. So yes, I am all for persons advancing themselves, but it has to be looked at within a wider context. In terms of the reasons why persons are leaving and why it is they feel they cannot stay here to advance themselves.
I think that goes outside of the police force, where especially younger people generally feel like, if it is that I want to get further in my career, I cannot remain here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But what I was going to say is, I agree with you, and it is a trickle-down effect. If it is that I am having, and the caller said it as well, if it is that I'm living in poor conditions, poor salary, poor working hours, when I go out,
lack of recognition for promotion, because even
lack of
just
recognition,
that alone, that intrinsic reward even helps, So
when I go out, you are going to feel it. The civilians are going to feel it, and that is why when I explained my run-in with the, what was it, the traffic warden on Friday, the first thing I said to her was, I can see that the sun is hot and you're frustrated, but that is no reason to talk to me the way that you're talking to me. And it's just way too common. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning. I've been listening to your conversation for the morning. And I'm of the opinion that some people are just people who like to migrate, whether they're police, nurse, or what. Sometimes it's not even the money. Some people just want to go to a new place. They feel, I've been in St. Vincent for long.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And migration has happened for decades. So yes.
Yeah. I'm not saying that some of them is not leaving because of conditions or anything like that, but I'm just saying that a lot of them probably just leaving because they think it might be better for them to just leave. And another thing I have a problem with is that when the government spend all this money to train you to become a qualified police or a qualified nurse, and as soon as you become a qualified nurse, the only thing you could think about is leaving. I mean, yes, the condition might be a little bit harsh, as they might want to say. But when you put your foot in that door and they train you, you could have gone to the facilities already and see the conditions. And you could have decided that, I don't want this.
But when you're going into any job, shouldn't you be trained?
Yeah, but
I don't think training should equate to loyalty.
But listen to me. Listen, if I have a business and I spend time training you to become, let me say, a good cashier, and as soon as you qualify to be a cashier, the next thing you tell me, I'm leaving. I spent all that time. That's money I spent. That's energy and time I spent training you. I definitely will want something out of my training that I put into you.
What is work experience?
Say that again.
Yeah, but
what is work experience? Isn't it preparing you for the role that you have? So does that mean I should stay in the same role?
No, I can't see where he's coming from, because when you have an organization or a company with a high staff turnover, you're wasting a lot of time just trying to train new persons coming in. And that does not lend to the productivity of an organization. So I can't see where he's coming from. So what the question really is why a person's leaving? And in this case, it's not just a trickle effect in terms of one person at a time. It is several persons at a time leaving. So the question that really should be asked is why a person's leaving.
And the time is 9 o'clock here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Just a quick time check.
Kojo, you could wrap up your point.
No, I think I'm finished, because my point is that there's more than one reason why people are leaving.
Yes, and that's a fair point.
The condition.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That's all.
Yeah, thanks this morning, Kojo. Yeah, that is a fair point, that there could be more than one reasons why people are leaving. But generally speaking, when you speak to police officers, and again, we've heard police officers vent off the record about certain things, treatment, promotion, even issues between officers and officers. We have heard of a number of issues, and not taken away from the fact that any organization, especially a large organization, you're going to have issues. But when you see that persons are deciding this is too much, so much so that I need to get out.
Or even persons are just entering, using it as a stepping stone. There is a problem.
But I could go into more about what Coach said, but time would not permit. It is 9:02 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we have to make way for our ECCB currency exchange rates this morning.